What's up, guys? We are coming in hot with our top five college quarterbacks for the 2026 season. Now, Brock, I don't know about you, but putting this list together, I struggled. There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming into the season next year.
It's a grind, man. I mean, college football is just on the upcome. These colleges are making their investments and their, franchise quarterback, I guess you could say, for what, a year before they transfer out and go get some more money. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
definitely.
interesting times we live in, man.
For sure. And I didn't put, I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you before we get in the top five. I didn't put Darian Mensah in my top five. I didn't put Jaden Mayava in my top five. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that I left out, and I know you did as well based on your list.
No, but it's just like you're pulling out a hat at this point, especially this early. I mean, we just started spring ball, what, two weeks ago, max?
Yep.
And we're out here making predictions on this upcoming year's quarterback class. I mean, we're here. Football is here. Football
Yeah.
is here. Whether you like it or not, football is here.
And out of respect to TCU, I didn't put Josh Hoover in my top five because the coach said he sucked and he turned it over all the time. So out of just respect there, I would never put Josh Hoover in my top five going off and playing for Indiana this season. So we'll start from five. We'll go bottom to top here. And I'll let you go first because you got a hot take here. This one hurts me, dude. I'm gonna be straight, and you tell me who it is, and I'm gonna tell you why it hurts me.
Marcel Reed.
All right, hold on a minute. All right, I had a parlay. It was the most beautiful get back my money parlay of all time. It included the Buffalo Bills when they came back against the New England Patriots when they were down big in Gillette. And it also had a bunch of college legs for that first weekend of the college football playoff. The one that I needed that did not hit was Texas A&M to beat Miami because of Marcel Reed. And not only did it not hit, he got me excited at the end before he broke my heart with yet another turnover.
But that's the name of the game with that gentleman. Go talking about turnovers. The last two games, he had 6 interceptions. After your first 10 regular season games, you put up 31 points throughout your offense. I mean, I just feel like he has the biggest upside, and no one's talking about it. He ended the year on a really bad note. That's what people remember him of. Granted, was it against good competition? You could arguably say yes, but I'm telling you, I think the way Texas A&M has been able to rebuild, be able to put weapons around Reed, another year of just being experienced in the SEC, I just feel like the sky is the limit for Marcel.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. I mean, he's got the athleticism, and speaking of upside, and a guy who didn't necessarily end the season on a high note, Julian Sayin, nothing he could do. I mean, the offensive line just simply did not protect him in that game against Indiana. But for a guy like Julian Sayin, you got to put him in the top five. I think out of respect to him, 3,600 yards last year, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was one of the Heisman front runners. So I don't love Julian Sayin by any means. I think there's a lot of room for growth, and I like a guy like Josh Hoover a little bit. I like a guy like Jaden Mayava, or even, I look at potentially CJ Bailey, right? Like there's a lot of quarterbacks that I do like a lot, but out of respect to him from his Heisman success last year, I need to put Julian Sayin at number five. I do not have Marcel Reed in my top five. I'll say that right now. Number four, who you got?
Speaking of respect, Gunnar Stockton. You want to talk about a dude that puts a state on his back? A dude that has a state just behind him in the state of Georgia. Like, we have seen that dude take some blows. And what does he do? He gets back up and just wins. This dude, 38% of his passes last year were behind the line of scrimmage. And 1 of 7 of his throws was beyond 20 yards last year. And he was still able to win the SEC championship. That's incredible. That's in today's world of college football, of just letting it eat, airing the ball out, go make a play. We're throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage over 38% of the time. And you win the SEC championship. I mean, it just shows you about his character, his leadership, what he does for that team of just being a playmaker. His accuracy's there. He's going to fit the ball in, and he's going to take those hits. He's not afraid of that pocket. He's going to stand in that pocket and deliver a ball.
I want to put him in there. I just think athletically, he's not in the top five. He's a winner. If we were ranking top five winners and top five guys I want with the game on the line, I probably put Gunnar Stockton closer to the top of my list. But right now, unfortunately, he didn't make it. But a guy who did make it was the man who ended his season. Yeah, ended his season
Hmm.
last year. Trinidad Chambliss.
Yes,
And that
sir.
was the game. Nobody really talked about Trinidad before that game. I mean, people did, don't get me wrong, but that was the game where he really established himself. It just happened to be his last win of the season. And Chambliss held a quarterback. And I know we had the situation this year where Mississippi lawyers were literally, Ole Miss graduate lawyers were literally making decisions on his eligibility coming into the year, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But he is here, he's playing, he's ready to go. He's made the rise all the way up from the Division II ranks to where he is now. Trinidad Chambliss probably is the Heisman frontrunner in my mind because of everything he can do running the football and throwing it. But number three, we do kind of line up here. So I'm excited that we have the same number three, and I will let you take it away.
Number three, Dante Moore. Let's not forget last year was Dante's Moore first year as a starting quarterback. Not to mention a starting quarterback at Oregon. He was a backup at UCLA. And he comes in last year. There's so much upside. Yes, he had some bad plays, but I also feel like Oregon's front line really couldn't compete with a real physical defensive line. And he had to scramble. He had to make a lot more plays than what he should have been. But second year under the program at Oregon, this is the same individual that could have probably gone top 5 in this upcoming year's draft class, and he decided to go back to Oregon. That shows you something about himself. Shows you something about the University of Oregon. Like, I think the sky is the limit with this one, and you're telling me Dan Lanning, he's eating this up right now, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a certified Oregon hater. That's what people call me based on how all I did was pick against them. And I made a couple anti-Oregon videos, not anti-Oregon, but I picked against them. And people get
Yeah.
offended when you pick against their team. That's just the way it is. I think the sky is the limit for him. I think if he was going to be the number one pick or potentially number two, not going to the New York Jets, he
Mhm.
does end up coming out. But because he's not going to be the number one, he decides to sit back, not play for the Jets, and return to Oregon for probably $6 to $8 million in NIL. So really good deal for him, and he's going to be a hell of a player this year as long as they can protect him. Number two for me, and we're going to flip flop our ones and twos here,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I'm going to go with CJ Carr as my number two pick. I think he could be the best quarterback in the country. And the fact that he is only a sophomore football player this season is really scary. I mean, not a lot of people talked about him. Notre Dame didn't have a super tough schedule last year, but
Mhm.
2,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, won the job at the beginning of the season. And people are talking that this could be the best quarterback in Notre Dame history. That's how good this kid is. Notre Dame's going to play a very easy schedule. They're going to probably win 11 to 12 games. They're going to be in the college football playoffs. So that only elevates the hype around this dude. Brock, you're a native to Indiana. What do you think of CJ Carr?
I'm right there with you, man. I think what Notre Dame has evolved as a program, the weapons that they have brought in for CJ Carr to succeed. You got Jaden back. You got Ohio State transfers. You got whatever your hand wants, you have at that university. And it's like you said, with the schedule, if CJ is not able to put up the numbers that I see him putting up, I feel like there's a lot bigger issue going on in that program than just CJ.
Yeah, definitely. So you got CJ as your number one. I don't mean to spoil it,
Mhm. Mhm.
but who you got coming in at number two?
The man himself, Arch Manning. This dude has been through it, and as he should. I'm not going to say as he should, but he's had a lot of hype. We the problem is our perspective. We've only seen good clips of him through high school. We saw him killing it in high school, and we expected him to do the same. Shame on us. But hey, we're going in. He's got a couple years under his belt. He's ready to go. Texas is all in. Cam Coleman, you pull him from Auburn. You got Hollywood Smothers from North Carolina State back there in the backfield with Arch. I mean, like I said, Texas is all in. He's been a part of this program. He's had the upsides, and he's sure as hell has had the downside. And being a part of that Manning family, he's destined to succeed. And it's just a matter of time. And I think this is the year he just breaks out and does
I mean, it's got to be the year. And for that reason, Arch Manning is the number one for me.
that.
this is the scariest player coming into college football season because you know he's going to be the number one overall pick. How he got better towards the end of last season was crazy to
Yes.
think. And even at the beginning of the year, I know the Ohio State game wasn't pretty. I know early on he struggled. But when you look at what he did as a whole body of work, his stats are right up there with some of the best quarterbacks in college football that didn't get picked on. So if his name wasn't Manning, you probably
Mhm.
think he's a pretty dangerous threat coming into the season based on how he played last year. Since his name is Manning, he's got all the pressure on him, and what
Correct.
he did last year wasn't good enough as a first year starter. I mean, Arch is still relatively young. Just because he sat, he didn't have playing experience behind Quinn Ewers. I will say this too. He was not ready to be the guy though on his first couple of years on campus. So Sark had the right thought, being a Quinn Ewers guy, where a lot of people, including Paul Feinbaum, was saying that Arch should have been the guy, and they would have won. They
Absolutely.
would have won the national title if Arch was the
Mhm.
guy. No, that's not the case. But this year, the kid's going to be dangerous.
Yes.
Out of this list, your list, who do you think wins the Heisman?
To me, it's got to be CJ Carr, man. I mean, if it he's he's going to have the numbers with what Notre Dame goes against through the 12 games they play in this year. He will have the numbers. He will have the weapons. He's going to have the hype. And if there's not another gentleman on this planet that doesn't go into each game with a chip on his shoulder to carry a program that they so-called thought they should have been into the playoffs last year, I mean, it's a dangerous group that he's dealing with, and I'm sure that everyone part of that program wants to see a Heisman Trophy winner in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make three Heisman bets, I think on the list, you got to have CJ Carr up there because of the schedule and the production that he had. Arch
He's
Manning's
gonna,
that guy, but you,
yeah. I mean, see, if CJ's not one of the three invited to the Heisman, he's either gotten hurt or something went serious wrong. Like no in between.
yeah, definitely. So we got CJ Carr, we got Arch Manning, and Trinidad Chambliss. Those would be my three
Mhm.
because I think they have the most explosion combined with the easiest schedules. Definitely not easy in the SEC, but CJ Carr, easy schedule, great quarterback. Arch has the dual threat ability, one of the best players in the country, and then Trinidad Chambliss can eat up any defense. So that was our top five quarterbacks. Tanner Kern alongside Brock Boynton. Make sure you guys give us a follow here on Green 8. You got a lot of exciting content coming up on the channel, and we'll see you next time for another video.